Salvete omnes. This is Abbey Latin Liber Primus, chapter 14. This is chapter 14's Lectio Latina, the Latin reading. When last we left off, evil King Amulius, the Rex Malus, he had put his good king brother Numitor in carcere, in prison. He slew Numitor's sons, his own nephews, and then he forced his niece, the Filia, the daughter of Numitor, her name, Rea Silvia, to become a Vestal Virgin. Therefore, she would not have any children to one day challenge him, evil King Amulius. But things did not work out as Amulius planned, for he was informed that his niece was pregnant. He said, now she can be executed by immurement, the punishment for a Vestal who breaks her oath. But he is told, no, that's not a good idea because the father of the child is Mars, the god of war. Oh no, not the god of war. One god would be terrible, but it's the god of war. I really want to kill the kids or the girlfriend of the god of war. That'd be pretty terrible. What's an evil king to do? Let's find out. Amulius Rex Latinorum malus, filios Reae Silviae ac martis timuit, sed non interfecit. Okay, so he's not going to kill them outright. Amulius, the Rex Latinorum malus. The Rex isn't a positive. It is placed next to Amulius to give more information about him. Notice the use of the English punctuation, the comma here. So Amulius Rex, the king malus of the Latins, Latinorum being the genitive plural of the Latini, the Latins. And he's a Rex malus, malus being a nominative singular masculine to agree with Rex, describing him. He's an evil king. He's a bad dude. Amulius, the wicked king of the Latins. Filios, filios being the accusative plural masculine of filios e masculine, a son, so male offspring, and because it's accusative and plural and masculine, sons as in the direct object of some verb coming up. Reae Silviae is the genitive of possessions, possessing the filios, the sons, of the proper noun Rea Silvia. That's her name. Rea Silvia. She is the niece of the wicked king Amulius, daughter of good king Numitor, who has been thrown in carcere, in prison, by his wicked brother. Rhea is also the name of the mother of Zeus and Hestia and Vesta and Poseidon and Hera and the Olympians, the sister wife of Kronos. Interesting. Atque, souped up et, if et went to the gym. So it's a rather powerful conjunction. It's not just Rea Silvia's sons, but also Martis. This is the genitive of Mars. Mars, Martis. Like the month March. Mars's month. God of war. Timuit. Third person singular perfect tense of timeo, timere, timui. It's a second conjugation. Timuit, he feared. Third person singular. Amulius, the wicked king of the Latins, feared the sons of not just Rea Silvia, but also even of Mars. This, of course, the sons of the god of war, they're like demigods. That can't be good. This puts a serious impediment in his plans for not dying of being overthrown by people angry that he's a wicked king having usurped the throne. Said, but, there's always a but. Only one T. Don't get too excited. Non interfecit, but he did not interfecit. Oh, there you go. He did not kill them. He did not slay them. He slew them not. Non interfecit. Interficio means to kill, to slay, to murder. Good, so he did not kill the babies. Excellent, good. He's not a baby killer. He may be wicked, but he ain't that. Mars, enim, omne saepe terrebat, et rex deum belli acrem esse iratum noluit. Yeah, he didn't want any of that. So Mars, nominative singular masculine, subject. Anim, it's a for, F-O-R. For Mars, omnes saepe terrebat, omnes, being the accusative plural masculine of omnis omne. This is an adjective acting like a noun. This is a substantive adjective. It means all or everybody. You can even use the English singular, looking singular, everybody. All. Omnes, all persons. Remember, equals everyone or everybody. And because it's accusative plural, it's the direct object of the verb terrebat, and Mars is the subject. Mars was saepe, adverb, often scaring everyone. Yeah, he's the god of war. For Mars, often scared everyone, was often scaring everybody, was often putting fear into people, because he is the god of war. And rex deum belli acrem esse iratum noluit. And the king, we've switched subjects to the king, wicked King Amulius, since Mars was, going around often scaring people, rex, the king, he didn't want any of that. Deum is the accusative direct object, deus e masculine, the god, belli, of war, belli from bellum e neuter, genitive, the god of war, acrem, from acris acre, or acer acris acre, a third declension adjective, three termination, where the masculine is acer, the feminine is acris, the neuter is acre. This is acrem. It's accusative singular masculine to agree with the accusative singular masculine deum. He's the harsh, sharp, bitter god, belli of war, the harsh god of war. Esse. This is the infinitive, the second principal part of sum esse fui futurus. To be, the to, to in front of it, to be. Iratum from iratus aon means angry, irate. You can see the root is ira, ire. Ira, I feminine, anger. This means angry. And it's accusative, and it's singular, and it's masculine, because it's modifying the deum, the harsh deum, to be angry. This is what we call a predicate accusative. Because it's not a predicate nominative, we have a form of the verb to be, but it's in the accusative, because the nominative subject, noluit, did not want the accusative subject, harsh god of war, to be iratum, to be something. I don't want you to be mad. I am the subject. I don't want is the verb. You're the direct object, kind of the not wanting, but you're also the subject of the to be. I don't want you to be this. If I weren't involved, you be mad. You equals mad. That would just be a subject, a linking verb, and mad would be a predicate nominative. But if I don't want you to be mad, you are now an accusative, direct object of me not wanting you to be mad. That linking verb becomes the infinitive esse, which is still sum. And then it can't be a predicate nominative because it's modifying an accusative. We call this a predicate accusative. Ask me sometime about painting the barn red. So Mars, for Mars was often scaring everyone, and the king didn't want the harsh god of war to be angry, especially at him. Kills the kids. That might cause the god of war to become irate, full of ira, anger, wrath. Amulius don't want that. Ubi rea geminos peperet, Amulius servos celeriter portare infantes canisra, ad flumen Tiberim et abicere in aquam statim usit. Yeah, but he's still a bad dude. Ubi, when, or where, when rea, nominative singular feminine, subject, geminos, the accusative plural masculine, Gemini, the Gemini, the twins, because she peperet gave birth to twins. When Rhea gave birth to twins, peperet is a verb for to give birth to. It's perfect tense because it happened. When Rhea gave birth to twins, what did Amulius do? We switched subjects, nominative, singular, masculine. This is a temporal clause introduced by ubi, when. When this happened, then the main clause starts. Amulius servos. Amulius did something to the servos. Accusative plural masculine of servos e masculine, the slaves. Celeriter. Celeriter is the adverb form of the adjective celer, celeris, celere. So if celer means swift or quick, celeriter means swiftly, quickly. Now it modifies not an adjective, or I'm sorry, not a noun like servos, but it modifies either an adjective or another adverb. Or how about a verb like portare, to swiftly portare, to portare, carry. This is the second principal part of the verb, portare, porto, portare, portavi, portatus. And because it's the second principal part, this is the infinitive form, the to verb, to swiftly carry. Infantes, infans, infantes. Looks like an uns, entus. And it's a third declension, masculine or feminine. Looks pretty accusative-y. Infans, infantis, infanti, infantem, infante. Infantes, infantium, infantibus, infantes, infantibus. You might be saying, I've never seen that word before. Yes, but now you know how it declines, even if you've not seen it before. You just need to look up the dictionary entry, and then you can see, oh, it's a third declension common noun. Masculine or feminine, uns, untus. It's accusative. To quickly carry the infants, the bebes. Canistro, from canistrum e neuter. That means a basket, usually made of reeds. So a basket. Also, you might be thinking, I don't know that word either. Yes, but when you look it up in the dictionary, canistrum e neuter, you know it's a second declension neuter and you know how it declines. So in a basket, it's an ablative, and it's ablative of means. It's by means of the basket. They put the babies, they carried the babies by means of this basket. Ad takes the accusative motion towards the flumen, the river, and the river is the Tiber, Tiberim, so slightly irregular accusative of the Tiber River. The mighty Tiber. Yes, we'll hear a lot about this river. Ad flumen Tiberem, to the Tiber River. Et abicere in aquam statim usit. Any abicere, this is the second principal part of abicio, abicere, abieci, abiectus. And you might be thinking, I don't know that verb. And you're right, you don't know that verb, and you won't know that verb for a little bit. But it means to yacio ab, to throw away, or to cast off. Like portare, it's a second principal part, a to verb, to swiftly carry and to throw off, to cast off. In plus the accusative motion towards the aqua I feminine, into the water. Statim, immediately. Quickly carry, statim usit. So we have the adverb celeriter portare, to quickly carry, and to statim. Adverb meaning at once goes with usit. So when Rhea gave birth to the twins, Amulius immediately ordered the servos. This is called a subject accusative. Like the subject Rex didn't want the subject accusative to be angry. The subject immediately ordered the subject accusative, the servos, to portare and to abicere, to quickly carry the babies by means of a basket, in a basket, to the Tiber River, and to abicere, to throw them into the water, to throw them away into the water. Throw the basket into the water. Put the babies in the basket, take the basket to the Tiber River, and then chuck the basket with the babies inside in the Tiber River. What? That's horrible. But you said you were non interfecit, you weren't going to kill them. Ah, you see, it's a slight technicality. I'm not really killing them. I'm putting them in a highly perilous, dangerous situation. I'm not really killing them, though, am I? Rex audax clamavit. Remember, he's a Rex Malus. He's a bad dude. The Rex audax, bold king. Yeah, he's bold too. Audax audacus, a one termination third declension. The bold king clamavit, shouted, exclaimed. He cried out. Si pater geminorum retenere filios a morte vult, tum servabit. If the father of the twins, see, if the pater, the nominative singular masculine, if the father, geminorum, of the twins, genitive plural masculine, possession, if the father of the twins, if the twins' father, retenere filios, retenere, a second principal part, so an infinitive, a to verb, retenere, retenere, retinui, retentus, to teneo, hold, back, to hold back, to keep back. The accusative direct object, filios, the sons. A morte, a plus the ablative separation, mors, mortis, feminine, death. And then vult means wishes or wants. If the father of the twins wants to keep his filios sons from death, tum servabit, then servabit, servo, servare, servavi, servatus, third person singular future, then he will save them. Yeah, I'm not actually killing the babies. I'm just going to, put them in a situation in which they could easily die. And if the father of the twins, who is the powerful god of war, wants to save them from this very perilous situation, then he will. And I wash my hands of it. Yeah, he's a bad dude. So they put the twins somewhere up here in a basket, and then they get carried downriver. Things look pretty bleak for these twins. I guess this is where our story ends. Oh, wait, no. Celleris erat aqua fluminis, Tiberis, et canisrum ad ripum longe portabat. So, celleris erat aqua. Celer, celleris, cellere. Swift, quick. Celerity, swiftness. Erat, third person singular, imperfect, active indicative. Aqua, swift was the aqua, nominative singular feminine. This is the nominative subject. Celleris is the predicate nominative. Swift was the water. Fluminous, flumen, fluminous neuter, of the river. Swift was the river's water. What river? The Tiberis, Tiber. Swift was the water of the Tiber River. Et canisrum, and the basket, nominative or accusative, singular neuter. Ad ripam, a ripa, I feminine, is the bank. Like where you get money? No, the bank of a river. It's a river bank. And ad plus the accusative motion towards, or to, we're going towards the river bank. Longe, the adverb form of longosaon. We don't say longly, but we do say far off. And then portabat, third person singular imperfect active indicative of porto, portare, portavi, portatus. And the water is still the subject. So swift, quick was the water of the Tiber River, and it was carrying, the water was carrying the basket, the canistrum, far off to the riverbank. So all the way down the river, and then finally the basket washed ashore, ad ripam, to the riverbank. The babies got out of the basket and began to toddle around as babies do, and also began to cry as little babies do. Ubi pueri clamabat, and when the little boys, ubi pueri clamabat, were shouting when they were crying, as babies tend to do, a lupa. What's a lupa? Lupa, I feminine. Ow! A lupus is a masculine he-wolf. A lupa is a feminine she-wolf. A female wolf, a lupa. Lots of wolves around here. And of course, you know what makes a tasty, yummy wolf treat. Yum, yum, yum. Babies. Lupa, woke. Seems like the kids are going to be a wolf food. Wokus, feminine, a voice. The voces geminorum. So a lupa voces geminorum audivit. Geminorum being the genitive plural, possessing the voces. So when the boys were crying, A lupa, a she-wolf, heard the voices of the twins, heard the twins' woques voices. The she-wolf, she heard their crying. And she gobbled them up. No, she aproprinquavit, and she approached them. She went to them. Ad montem palatinum pueros portavit, et ibi nutriebat. They don't become wolf treats. Ad plus the accusative mons montis masculine. We're going towards the mount, towards the hill, and it's the hill Palatinum, the Palatine Hill. So the basket washes ashore somewhere here. Babbies babby out and start meh, meh, meh. And then a lupa, there are quite a few lupi in the area, hears the babbies, comes trotting along, and instead of nom, chomping them down, takes the babbies back here. There's a cave, the base of the Palatine Hill, that recently has become more, not quite excavated. They've sent a camera down into the cave. There was a whole complex where it was sort of a memorial to the wolf that nursed and suckled Romulus and Remus. The holiday is called the Lupercalia, where there's a festival around the Lupercal. Lupercal is the cave. Lupercal. Lupercalia is a holiday where it celebrates the she-wolf that nursed Romulus and Remus. So ad montem Palatinum, to the Palatine Hill, pueros portavit, the lupa portavit, she carried pueros, the boys, ad montem Palatinum, to the Palatine Hill. Et and ibi, adverb there in that place, nutriebat, she was nursing them, she was suckling them. As you can see, the famous Capitoline she-wolf. The she-wolf itself was cast around the 5th century BC. It seems to be Etruscan in origin. And that date has been debated for quite some time, but that seems to have, scholarly conclusion seems to have swung around again to say, no, actually it is 5th century BC Etruscan, where the other swing of the pendulum says that, no, it was created around the Renaissance, around the same time as the little Romulus and Remus figures. They were added in the 15th century AD. So the wolf dates from 5th century before Christ, and then the twins, those statues, they date from the 15th century AD. That's a long time. And the style is rather different, the style of the babies as opposed to the style of the wolf. And it's kind of an odd juxtaposition. But the statue is interesting, and it's rather famous. It now resides in the Capitoline Museum, the Capitoline being here. Post multum tempus, Faustulus agricola bonus, et acca Larentia Faustuli femina, infantes viderunt, et ad villam portaverunt. Post takes the accusative, after or behind, and after multum tempus. Remember, tempus is tempus temporis, a third declension neuter. So tempus is neuter, multum is neuter to agree with it. After much time, after a good deal of time, after much time, Faustulus. Faustulus is the name of an agricola bonus, a good shepherd, in a positive modifying Faustulus, telling us more about him. An agricola, who is adjective bonus. Remember, agricola I, masculine. After much time, Faustulus, a good farmer, and acca Larentia, Faustuli femina, the woman or the wife of Faustulus, Faustulus' wife, femina being in a positive, modifying acca Larentia, infantes viderunt. Infantes, the accusative direct object of viderunt. So Faustulus, a good farmer, and his wife Alca Larentia, they saw the infantes, they saw the babies with the lupa, she-wolf, around the cave on the Palatine. And they were like, okay, and et ad villam portaverunt. And they took the babies, the infantes, to their villam. They carried, porta portare, perfect tense, the babies ad vilam towards their farmhouse. They took the babies home. So after some time, the she-wolf nursed, suckled, cared for Romulus and Remus as if Romulus and Remus were were a pair of her cubs. And Faustulus and Acca Larentia, they come along, they find the babies, and they're like, "Oh my good Jove!" And they take the babies home. De Romulum et Remum geminos appella verunt. They named, appello appellare, they called by name, and they named the geminos Romulum et Remum. They named the twins Romulus and Remus. Et multos annos, and for many years, pueri cum Faustulo et Acca Larentia in villa habitabant, et in agris laborabant. And for many years, the pueri, the boys, with Faustulus and with Acca Larentia, ablatives of accompaniment, in plus the ablative location, in villa habitabant, they were living, third person plural, habito, habitare, habitavi, habitatus, they were living with Faustulus and Acca Larentia in a farmhouse, et in agris, and in the fields, laborabant, they were working. Third person plural, imperfect active indicative, laboro, laborare, laboravi, laboratus. So the two of them, meaning Faustulus and Acca Larentia, named the twins Romulus and Remus, and for many years the boys were living, or they lived, in the farmhouse with Faustulus and Acca Larentia, and they were working in the fields, and they worked in the fields. Yes, Faustulus and Acca Larentia raised the two wolf boys as if they were their own, and I bet they grow up happily ever after, and nothing bad ever happens to them ever again. So let's find out next time. Optime valete omnes.